Hello, welcome to the channel and thanks for joining me. So today we're going to have a look at this Galaxy Invader from CGL. Now it's the Invader 1000 and I've got a nice box here with all the polystyrene and stuff for it. The only thing is, as you can see, I've got three here. Now this is a prime example of old games that get beaten up and generally used, enjoyed, abused, stored, broken, handed around to ham-fisted friends, all that kind of stuff. And you may have seen one recently I did on Astro Wars where I was talking about the importance of keeping spare units because quite frankly most of the spare parts for these are not available anymore, and the only way we can keep one or more of them going is to sacrifice a donor unit usually. So anyway, I've got a few here, and one of these is, well, the fire button didn't work, and I've replaced the fire button on one or two of these before, but I actually made a bit of a modification to this one and fitted a micro switch. Now normally there's a sprung button here which has got quite a lot of travel and starts to play up on the board, and I actually replaced one. I did a mod and I replaced it with a micro switch, like a touch button, which was kind of cool, but it does need other work. It's got ghost in and all sorts of stuff, so it needs a bit more work on the actual circuitry before that one's going to be good to go. So I thought what I might do actually is pick up another one that I could use various parts for and maybe sub the main board out for this one, and it turned out that this one didn't work. I think it's got battery corrosion in this one. Yeah, the battery terminals have definitely seen better days. But the worst bit on this one was, and I've already taken the liberty of cracking this one open, although you can't see much at the moment. You may see in that bottom corner there's some discoloration and corrosion. Basically what had happened is the battery leakage has rotted away like half of the circuit board and all the traces need redoing. It's a really horrible mess and it's a time consuming job. I may or may not ever get around to doing it, so I kind of had that as an option. However, the switches are okay, the joystick is okay, so I thought, well, that's worth sort of keeping at least for now. So anyway, this one has come up, not in bad overall condition, and apparently it works. We've yet to see whether or not it does, but it's a bit scratched and a bit scuffed, and it's broken the joystick. So there we go, the joystick isn't present even at all. Well, the remnants of it will be on the board, and the seller basically said, oh yeah, an easy fix for someone. Now to be honest, it's not an easy fix. Well, it's not the hardest job in the world. It's just that, as I say, you can't get the parts and you've got to sacrifice a donor one, and you know, that's basically it and all about it. So given that it's got a few little scratches on the front and the actual joystick is broken, what I intend to do, I think, is I'm going to switch it out for one of the chassis, for, or at least the lid. I'll probably switch out the lid for the clean one that I've got here, and then probably pinch the joystick from the one that's rotten, which is that one, and we'll go from there. So I think what we're going to do is first of all make a great one out of the bad lot, and then that'll allow us to filter our way through the other ones in due course. But for today, let's see if we can just get one of these up and running. And I think the first thing to do is actually just verify whether or not this one does even work. Now, I don't have a power supply for this at the moment, but I'll be able to do that from the inside once we get in there. But let's just see. Get a nice eclectic mix of batteries in here, and hopefully it'll power up at least. It was sold as working apart from the joystick, so okie dokie. Right, let me just get something to move the joystick. Right, here we go. Alright, the joystick moves left, and hang on. Yeah, it moves right as well. And the game plays okay, the sound's okay. So I think we might actually be alright, apart from the obvious. So I think, I'm just thinking out loud, yeah, what I'm going to do is, I think, take the clean case off of this one for now, for that, and then pinch the, that's what I'm going to do, pinch the joystick from the third one. So first things first, let's just open this one up. As I say, this one does work, but it does do, I think it's got ghosting and stuff like that on there. Now what I have noticed straight away actually, and this brings back a nervous laugh here, but it brings back some memories, because I believe actually some of these might not even be compatible with different versions of the cases, I think. And for example, this one's got battery springs, which you can see there, whereas some of the other ones have got this kind of pressed or bent steel pins, so that might not even work. But anyway, let's have a look. First things first, we'll take that one to one side, because the thing is, I know that's a nice clean case because I've already cleaned that one up before, so we'll put that to one side, as I say. Then that leaves us with the one that we just tested. Right, okay, so I'm going to get the batteries out of this. I'm going to open it up and just make sure that the other cover does actually fit on the front of this one. The screws are different as well actually. These are like pointed stainless steel screws, sorry, pointed zinc plated, and these are more like flat-ended stainless steel ones, or stainless steel effect anyway. Right, anyway, first things first, without mixing these up, let's just see if indeed yeah, see, that doesn't work, it doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. Yep, those pegs, the pegs in the top are too big for the holes. Let's have a look. God, there's not much in that. Can see some minor variations. Interesting, Mr. Bond. For example, there's some reinforced braces on that top pin there which are missing from that one. And also, if you look at the let's have a look. We've got a black card insert there and squared off plates for the joystick and the fire button, whereas this one has got plastic over here and they're actually let in as well to the edges, which this one isn't. So it doesn't fit anyway. Right, so given that, I'm going to put that one back together. This is where it all starts getting a bit sketchy, so we've just got to be careful. So I'll put that one back together real quick. Okay, well that other one's out of the way, so at least we know that works. Just means we're going to have to polish the scratches out, or I may be able to pinch the ones, actually thinking about it, yeah, that's the same case, and I think this one, apart from being a bit grubby, it's got less scratches on it, so we may well in the end actually just replace the top case from this one instead and the joystick. So to that end, at least we know they're the same as each other now, these two. So that means that this one can go over there, which it does, and that's got less scratches than the other one, so that will be a bit more presentable, which is a good start. Rightio, so the next job, essentially we just want to be able to replace this joystick now. You have to be a bit careful about it. So we'll get the board out. There's normally two slightly shorter screws just here, and then the two longer ones on the bottom. And there are several different configurations of fire button as well. Some of them have got a cross engagement point that fits into the bottom of the fire button. Some of them have got that kind of half or squared off circle, as it were. It's like a potentiometer flat spindle. So anyways, that's this one, and we'll drop the, there we go, nice, good. So the only thing we need to do with this one really is get the joystick off, which isn't the easiest job in the world. It's a little bit fiddly. We've got, I think it is the 4 mounting feet there, and then your 4, let me just zoom you in. So you've got the 4 mounting feet just there, and then we've got the 4 pins, I think, across there. So before we do anything crazy, I'm just going to take the board out of the other unit as well, which is just here. And just a reminder then that this particular unit is the one that's got the rot from the batteries, so it doesn't work at all at the moment. I did try it once, and it literally just made a couple of little quick sort of noises, no screen display, and then it just cut off and died, and that was the end of that. So there we go. In fact, you can see I did start to clean the board up, but you can probably see the damage. Basically it's all bright and shiny to there, and then the back has gone, and the traces have just kind of gone nasty. So hopefully we should be able to get the joystick off, assuming it's the same one, that is. Let's just check, hadn't we? Better just check. Yeah, it should be okay. Looks okay to me. Right, let's get these away then. So we get plenty of flux on here. We don't get too much heat into the actual switch because it's quite heavily composed of plastic, which obviously is going to deform and melt, which we can't have. So we've got to get short bursts if we can. Righty ho, there's the switch away. Nice and springy, no damage there, but as I say, there's a lot of plastic inside of there, so you don't want to melt that at all. Right, I might rub the fire button off that at some point for my other one, but anyway, that's by the by. Let's just get this one off now. So just to remember where we're at, this one here is the, right, what's this one? This is the one that should work apart from the broken fire button. So now we've just got to get this one away. Same again then. Plenty of flux. So here we go then. Here's the new joystick, or the salvage joystick. Of course there's the original one, just totally snapped off. Nice idea, but they're just plastic inside and then they just snap, and that's the end of them. So let's get this one in. I've already cleaned the holes up with a little bit of solder wick, so we should be ready to go hopefully. I just need to bend the pins back a tiny bit, get everything lined up as best as we can. That's it. There we go. Nice. And that's bottomed out exactly where it needs to be. So all 4 feet are in, and the contact pins and the locating lug, everything's particularly boo. So let's get this soldered back in. Let's just turn this over. Actually, let's just try it with batteries first. Right, here we go. Just turn the lights out. It might be a bit flickery for you, but it's actually okay in real life. There we go. Nice. Left. Right, springs back to the centre. Perfect. Magic, good stuff. Right, let's get the cleanest front plate back on, and then we'll be in business. And I ought to just check it on mains power as well. I've just taken the batteries out, but I better just check it on mains power. I've got 6 volts DC here, just going onto the power jack, which should hopefully be there, and then yep, lovely, marvellous. There we go then. So all that remains, as I say, is get this screwed down, get it back together, and enjoy it. You could clean the switches and everything at this stage if you wanted to, but everything's working nicely. So I'm going to let sleeping dogs lie there. I am just going to get a bit of a clean around the fire button and stuff like that before I put it all back together. But other than that, we're good to go. So here it is then, the Galaxy Invader from CGL. Brought a bit of sunshine to us on this very, very wet day. You can probably hear the rain beating down on the window as I speak. So there wasn't much wrong with this, to be honest. We knew exactly what the problem was, and that was essentially a snapped joystick. And whilst the seller did say an easy fix for someone, it's only an easy fix if you've got the parts, and we've managed to salvage a replacement part from what is basically going to become a donor unit, I think. So that's no harm done. You know, we've got the original box for this and the polystyrene inserts and everything. So overall, I think it's going to be a lovely little game for somebody. So it's all in really nice condition. There's no cracks or major scratches or anything like that. It's just cleaned up pretty tidy. We've checked it on the mains for the DC there, and it's working on batteries as well. So yeah, just have one quick fire up again, and there we go. So left and return, right and return, job done. Everything's responsive, everything works nicely. Perfect. And I'll tell you what, it's a really addictive little game. Very simple gameplay, but great fun. So there it is anyway. The Galaxy Invader 1000 from CGL. So I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it useful. Please check out my other videos, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and if you are already a subscriber, then thanks ever so much for your support. Your support is always massively appreciated, as you know. So anyway, stay safe guys, I'll be back soon. In the meantime, take care, goodbye.